Shazam flying to a $50 million plus debut, John. That is the headline on this week's new show. Every Tuesday, we're going to be here, and it's MBE Heroes, where we talk about all the latest news in the comic book world. That is the cinematic comic book world.
Because we don't know enough about comic books himself, Stephen.
But listen, that's a great headline. It's a great headline for the studio as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great headline for the DCEU. If it's still a thing, Stephen, I don't actually know if it is. At this moment, it's still up in the air. We know they're doing standalone films, hoping something will stick. Yep. And then if it continues to work going forward, then they'll maybe amalgamate
this might be a little spoiler, John, but I think if Henry Cavill didn't make that appearance in the film, it would have been a DCEU. But did he? Or did he not?
No, it was his chest.
It was his chest.
He was CG'd out.
His chest double,
His chest double. Look, I enjoyed that. Cameo incidentally, and I really enjoyed the film as well, Stephen. So I'm not surprised to see it's opened massively over in the States. And we've not actually got the box office figures for the United Kingdom yet. It only came out at the weekend. So we don't know the actual figures here, but I presume it was opened well because the word of mouth for this film has been very, very positive indeed. I was actually talking to somebody at the football the other day, Stephen, and I was even getting into those sort of demographics.
Football must have been pretty bad. You're talking about films,
terrible,
but listen, you're right. The theatre we went to go and see this film in today was absolutely jam-packed as well, which it wasn't surprising because, as you said, it's opening weekend here in the UK. It's going to get all the film goers turning out for the film. Also, the promotion of the film's been fantastic. I think the trailers that we've seen, the first trailer we got was very silly, very goofy. Which I wasn't used to from DC, to be fair. The second trailer we got, we saw more of his powers. The laughs were still there. I've got to say, this is just my own personal experience from the movie. It wasn't as goofy as I thought it was going to be. It was funny, but it wasn't goofy.
I thought
I thought the character development was excellent. I thought the villain, Mark Strong's character, I loved the way it opened up. With him being a young boy, he failed basically the test, didn't he?
He wasn't worthy.
And I thought the young boy that played the young Shazam as well was excellent. I thought all the cast, the young kids,
they were very, very good.
Very
as
good
a whole,
in the film.
Stephen,
and obviously Zachary Levi as well was fantastic. I thought his his mark on the film might overshadow the rest of the cast. It certainly didn't. And there was a lot of little Easter eggs in there as well, John, that off the top of my head, just because we're not long back from the cinema, I know that the director, he was talking about on social media his influences, the likes of Gremlins, The Goonies, Ghostbusters. He says he loves films that begin with G. Incidentally, there was a lot of little Easter eggs throughout. There was one from Big as well in there. The Gremlins one that I noticed was the music at the very beginning was the music that was played in the Gremlins. Mark Strong, the John Glover, I think his name is, the chap that played his father. He was in Gremlins 2. We also got the Big. There was a little Easter egg in there, not an Easter egg, a little sort of homage to Big as well, with the piano on the floor as well, which was very brief. There were so many, but I could see the influences. I think that's why I enjoyed it, to be fair. It reminded me a lot of the films I grew up with, and it just fits in there nicely as well. It's when Guardians of the Galaxy came out from Marvel, I thought this is going to be so misplaced, but over time it's certainly not, and I think over time the character Shazam is going to develop even further. I get the reason why this 14-year-old kid is acting, or I should say Zachary Levi's character is acting like a 14-year-old kid, because he is a 14-year-old kid. I think over time that character is going to develop more, but I think it was a great introduction to the character that I wasn't really familiar with.
No, I wasn't either, Stephen. It's actually a character I didn't know much about, only that it was originally Captain Marvel. There was legal issues, and then they also had to change the name. It's going to be an issue, Stephen, I think, for future films with the Billy Batson character, also played by Asher Angel. How is that going to work as he also gets older? They're going to have to keep recasting that role, but is he going to grow with the character, become an adult?
He will.
Yeah, because I think that whole Big thing, where he's playing the younger person transformed into an adult superhero, that'll only work for so long, and then it's also going to get a little bit wearisome, a little bit tiresome. So I think they're going to have to try and develop that character, obviously getting older and older into the story, because if they're continuing with this character, and I presume they will, because it's starting off very well financially, and it's got great word of mouth. This is going to be a character that's definitely going to have its own sequel going forward. It's much like Aquaman, it's going to be a success, much like Wonder Woman. I'm just glad to see DC are doing the more lighter thing, because we know they do the darker, grittier tone very well with the likes of Batman, with the likes of Superman. To see them then go off and do this lighter tone with Wonder Woman, and obviously Aquaman, my man, and things like that, and just very light and airy and full of comedic stuff, but great visual moments as well. Now they're doing it again with Shazam, it's even more going further off into that lighter side of the tone.
Yeah.
But as you did say, not so much to the detriment of the actual story, Stephen. No. There was lots going on there to balance it out. There was darker tones in there. The villain I thought was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed. I think it's Dr. Thaddeus Savannah, played by Mark Strong. He was a really interesting, multi-layered villain. You could understand his motivations, because he was kind of possessed with this entity, wasn't he?
Well, there was that the possession thing was one thing, but I think as well there was a lot of regret on his part that he kind of failed the test to become the next Shazam, you know. So I think that was his lifelong sort of crusade, was to enter that sort of world again, into that room.
To prove that he was worthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've really enjoyed that as well. I liked the fact that we had Shimon Hunsu as well, obviously as Wizard. He was the original Shazam. He had a brief little thing at the start. He wasn't in it that very much, but I enjoyed him as well. Most of all, though, Zachary Levi, really outstanding, Stephen, as you did say, he balanced it very well. Almost, I says to you, it was like the DC version of Ant-Man meets Guardians of the Galaxy, but the humour.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
Some of the music as well was perfectly matched. But obviously it did have lots of Easter eggs to the director's favourite films, the likes of, as you said, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Big, and things like that.
Yeah.
But it was very much like the Paul Rudd, obviously, I forget his name, Scott Lang character.
Scott Lang, yeah.
But he's thrust in the first Ant-Man film that is into this world of superheroes, having to learn all of these new skills, deal with a new suit, and obviously Shazam's case it's slightly different, because he's actually morphing into this guy, not just putting on a suit. Yeah. But that was interesting, that just him learning how to become a superhero. And again, it had hints of Spider-Man Homecoming as well. It's this young character having to deal with being grown up and thrust into this alien sort of a perspective of the world. That was very intriguing. It was a beautifully written story, quite linear, short and sweet, just a classic origin story, learning about the character. He develops his skills, comes up against a semi-powerful villain, not too powerful, but the side things of how it's obviously impacting on his personal life. He's this interesting sort of a foster kid who's had problems. He's ran away. He gets rejected with his mother at some point in the film, and he'll having to deal with these new siblings and this new family, and learn to deal with this whilst obviously balancing the superhero thing.
Storyline was excellent.
I liked it. It was colourful in parts, quite dark in other parts. I really laughed when he was trying to fly, because if we've seen that in the trailer, but then you see that sequence it is in the actual film, of various different training montages. He's zapping trash cans and stuff like that, and phones, and then obviously we don't see the point, I don't believe, in the trailers anyway, where he gets shot in the face. Now we need to test your face and see if you're bulletproof or it's just a suit, and he's looking for horror. And then absolutely
I thought it was fantastic. I think it's got that rewatchability as well. There are a lot of things. I think there's a lot of references in there as well that probably I've missed as well. That was the sort of standout ones that were more obvious, but for me, but I thought it was great. As I said, I thought my concern was it was going to be too goofy, and I thought maybe that was the reason Henry Cavill didn't want anything to do with it. But
I think he's going to be proven wrong in time with that one, Steve.
I think as well. I think Henry Cavill's reasons weren't certainly obviously that why he stepped away. But I'm kind of glad that they didn't go down the road of having that kind of cameo. The cameo they did have at the end was, I think, probably just poking fun at themselves, really.
Yeah, I think Henry Cavill, Stephen, was probably more angry at the fact that he hadn't yet get a sequel to Man of Steel, which is actually still one of my favourite DC films. In the DCU, I think it's quite underrated. A very good film, brilliant performance from him. I think he's actually a better Superman than Christopher Reeves. I'm going to put that out there. I actually preferred his take. I think those films out with the first two were absolutely crap. They were goofy and they were just horrendous.
They were very limited, John,
to be fair, they are limited with the effects, in fairness. And I do love Christopher Reeve's interpretation, but for me, Henry Cavill, very much underused, and I think that's why he was more angry and decided to walk away. It wasn't just being tagged onto Shazam, it was the fact he wasn't getting his own film. He didn't think the character was being handled with the respect it deserved. But look, Stephen, getting back to the box office briefly, it's international cum, currently sitting at $44 million, so it's just sitting shy of $100 million in its opening weekend. That is a very strong start. I expect this film to go on and perhaps gross another I think it'll hit $600 million plus, if not more, maybe 750.
I
think it'll be a very big success again, on the heels of Wonder Woman and Aquaman. DC really getting their act together, going with the non-conventional characters of Aquaman and Shazam. People were slagging them to an extent. What are you doing, bringing Shazam out? They don't know what they're doing. They're underusing, they're underutilising Batman and Superman. This is a disgrace. But now you see what they're doing. They're doing what, in a sense, the MCU has been doing, utilising the underused, lesser known characters, giving them a platform, and then maybe using the bigger characters more sparingly and keeping them for the big ensemble sort of films, like another Justice League if it comes.
I think a lot of people have probably not seen this coming, John. I think if maybe a year ago that we were going to get in the same month Captain Marvel being released at the same month as Shazam would suffer terribly. It's not been the case.
No.
It certainly hasn't.
I actually think it's a better film.
I don't really want to say it's a better film. I got more enjoyment out of this film than I did with Captain Marvel, to be honest. Captain Marvel's still a good film, but there's something fun about this film, something different, something that I'm not used to DC doing. Certainly not over the last 10 years or so. They tried to lighten the tone in the Suicide Squad. It didn't work.
No.
Certainly Leto's Joker didn't work. Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn certainly did work. It was one of the more plus points. But that just moves us on to our next article anyway, John. This is coming in from Screen Rant. It's Idris Elba is playing a new character, and it's not Deadshot. This is in relation to the Suicide Squad sequel. We talked about this a few weeks ago in regards to the producer Peter Safran.
Yes.
Was saying that it's going to be a total reboot, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
No.
Because according to this article, Margot Robbie is set to reprise her role in Suicide Squad role as Harley Quinn, and Jai Courtney has now confirmed that he'll be back to play Captain Boomerang. But the headline is, of course, as your man Idris Elba is playing a new character and not Deadshot. Now, John, the theory that you and I were talking about before we came on air was that Will Smith is not part of the sequel due to scheduling conflicts, which leaves the door open for the character and Will Smith to return in a possible third film.
I think it will happen, Stephen. I think it will happen. Everybody loved his take on that character of Deadshot. It was a fantastic performance. Nearly saved the film from being an utter mess, but not quite for me, just because of, it just felt muddled, felt like it lacked direction to a degree. The villain for me, I think it was the Cara Delevingne villain, didn't quite pay off, didn't work for me. It was
a witch or something like that.
Yeah, she was just underwhelming.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the film for a great deal. Just felt muddled. It felt like they were trying to shoehorn Jared Leto's Joker in. They felt like somebody, an imposter, trying to be the Joker. What we're seeing with Joaquin Phoenix, that is the bloody Joker. I'm sorry, that is a Joker. Not Jared Leto. I love Jared, I think he's a great actor, but he's not the bloody Joker, I'm sorry. So just retcon him out for me right away. But I digress, we're not talking about him, we're talking about Idris Elba. I think you're right, I think Will Smith will come back at some point as Deadshot if they're going to continue this on as an ongoing sort of a mini franchise within a franchise. I don't know if this is connected to the wider DCEU. I know we've seen Ben Affleck's Batman coming in, but now that he's now stepped away, maybe they're going to separate it entirely.
Yeah.
What's more interesting to me, Stephen, from this story, if Idris Elba's not going to be playing obviously Deadshot, who is he going to be playing? Because we do know that the likes of Ratcatcher, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, Peacemaker, they're all new characters that are going to be getting introduced into this. So it intrigues me which one he could be playing. I mean, I'm looking at the photos. I don't think he's going to be Polka Dot Man, unless they're rejuvenating that character and giving it a fresh lick of paint like they did with Aquaman. Because in the photos he's white.
Yeah,
skinny.
So there is a possibility they could do that, John.
They could retcon it because they've done it with Aquaman. Aquaman was this skinny dweeb, blonde dweeb, and they turned it into Jason Momoa taking it's much the better for it. So it's certainly possible we can see Idris coming in and doing that. I don't want to see him playing that shark geezer.
No, you're not going to see him, it's going to be a CG
you're not going
character.
To see him, and I think he's far too good an actor, far too handsome a chap to be putting him in this bloody nonsense, man. So if I was to take my pick, I mean, I'd probably go with perhaps Peacemaker. I don't know if that's Peacemaker there with this sort of a helmet thing. Again, I'm not completely invested and immersed in the comic book stories. I'd have to search it up. Well, you perhaps come back in, but that would probably be my pick if I was to take a pick. That or Ratcatcher.
Well, I think so, John. And one of the things that I know that we were talking about Peter Safran, the article a few months ago, and what he was saying in regards to a total reboot of the franchise. I don't think they're going to go as far as that, especially with you know, Margot Robbie's character. I think that muddies the water a little bit doing that. If you're one minute you're saying it's a reboot, but at the same time you're using the same characters from the original film.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see Margot Robbie's perhaps coming back though, because that character's so iconic. Yeah, out with the I think it's the Sirens of, I can't remember
Gotham City.
I don't think that's what it's called now. It's the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn. Yeah,
I'm glad you said that, John. Yeah. But yeah, what I was going to say was it's introducing these new characters, like you said, John. I think it's. I think they're doing the right thing. I don't think it's going to be interconnected with the DCEU. I think slowly but surely they're actually distancing themselves away from their original concept and what they wanted to do, which was copy Marvel in the sense of...
I definitely want it to be Peacemaker, Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these photos.
Yeah,
it has to
cool.
be Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Cool helmet thing, you know. And
he's certainly got the physique for it.
Yeah, he's muscly.
But I think, John, I think that's what the studio are going to be doing. I think they're going to strip back. I think the Suicide Squad 2, or whatever they're going to be calling this film, is going to be such a far cry from the original. I think it's going to take every measure to distance itself from the previous movies as well. I don't think we're going to get cameos from whoever will be playing Batman. I don't think Wonder Woman's going to crop up there. I think this is going to be a total separate thing, but it's still going to be leaving the doors open, if you like, for maybe possible cameos coming in future films.
And look, Stephen, with James Gunn writing and directing it, you know you're going to get a good quality story. This guy's a brilliant writer. We've seen it with Guardians of the Galaxy. We've seen it with them producing Brightburn.
Yeah,
that very interesting dark retelling of the obviously.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, Superman. What the hell's his name, Stephen? I forgot his name. My mind's went blank. It doesn't matter. Superman origin story anyway. Son of Jor-El. Yeah. So we know he's capable, and we know we're going to get some tinges of humour in there as well for good measure. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's a couple of years away still, sadly. So we've got a good while to wait until it actually comes out, and we'll get a whole host of information. Who's perhaps going to be playing who coming out over the next few months? Who's going to be coming on board and playing the likes of Ratcatcher, Peacemaker, and so on. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm glad to see Idris. As much as I love him, but Idris isn't playing Deadshot, because I want to see Will Smith coming back at some point to re-portray that character.
Just before we leave this topic, John, I'll just have to say, I'm glad they are readdressing their situation. They're not too arrogant to admit when they're wrong, and they're willing to make adjustments to the the landscape of their superheroes. And you know, the last few films, Aquaman, Shazam, like we were just talking about previous, Wonder Woman, have all been hits. They've just got to stick to their own formula, forget what everybody else is doing, and you know, just keep doing what they're doing now. It's good to see that it's refreshing as well for a studio to do a 360. You know, and readdress their own problems that they created. But we'll move on, John, to our next article. It's coming in from HeroicHollywood.com, and it's X-Men Dark Phoenix features a Stan Lee tribute instead of a cameo. Now, we know that Stan Lee sadly passed away a few months ago, John. It was one of the things I actually forgot he did, that he actually did appear in the sort of Fox-owned franchises of the likes of the X-Men, the Fantastic Four and stuff like that he did crop up in these as well. Sadly, it's not a cameo, it's going to be a tribute instead. In what form, I don't know if you've got any theories yourself, John, but apparently...
I mean, there's been photographs of him and stuff like that in previous things, isn't there? Was he? I'm pretty sure there has been.
He was a cop poster in the Netflix series, the TV series.
That's what it was, Stephen.
You saw him, join the force or whatever. It was a promotion.
Yeah, it was in Luke Cage, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of them in the background, but it could be that. It could be that. Yeah, but apparently.
But it could just be the intro again, like they did with also the great Marvel intro in Captain Marvel.
That was fantastic. I liked it.
And they're continuing that throughout the year, I believe.
But his final cameo, obviously, in the MCU is going to be Avengers Endgame. I don't know what kind of capacity it is, but as you say, John, it's very fitting. I think it was the director Simon Kinberg, was it?
Yeah, Simon Kinberg,
he had this to say: "We don't have a cameo. I'd rather say that than keep it mysterious out of respect for Stan. We do have some tribute to him, and it's something that obviously we weren't thinking about when we were making the movie, because he was still very much alive, and he's been such a huge part of making these films over the years. He's had cameos, he's had input into the process of making them." So what it'll be, we'll all keep our eyes peeled for it anyway.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's like Alfred Hitchcock, you know, when you watch a Hitchcock film, you look out for the cameo from the great director himself. Certainly in Stan Lee's, you know,
we've seen it with Tarantino as well. He likes to pop up in his own films.
Yeah,
so.
His is not so much a cameo though.
No,
he likes to be, you know, he's a
very memorable one.
Fully formed characters. But I always look forward to the Stan Lee cameos in the likes of the Spider-Man films, the previous ones, that is, the Tobey Maguire's and the Andrew Garfield ones as well. He cropped up in them just to see what role he's playing and stuff like that. But it's very interesting.
And Stephen, talking about cameos, I really enjoyed that one in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I actually watched a great video with Kevin Smith. It was actually, he was reading the script, I think it is, of Mallrats.
Right, okay.
A great film that Stan Lee actually starred in.
Okay.
He was reading it and he was reciting the same line over and over again when Captain Marvel comes on, and she obviously brings it down. He gives her a little wink. So that was a great double tribute to Kevin Smith and Stan Lee. He'd done a great video. He was very cut up about it. Obviously, he was very close friends with Stan.
Yeah.
He get prior warning when he went to the theatre, but he was actually crying and stuff like that. So that was great to see. That was a lovely touch with Kevin Feige and stuff like that. Doing a kind of a dual tribute to those two great men. But look, I cannot wait to see what vein Stan's going to pop up in this film. I really hope this film's a success, Stephen. We said about it. We spoke about it in the reaction video, the last one we done for Dark Phoenix, that we both have really enjoyed these takes on the younger versions of these characters. This is going to be the final time, I believe, with the Fox and Disney merger. We're not going to see these characters again after this film, so I want to see them get out with a bang, and I want to see Stan Lee maybe following them, get out with a bang in a successful film. I don't know which way I was about to say. That's probably the correct way to say it. English, John. He's going to pop up in this in terms of cameo. Is it going to be, well, we know it's not going to be a physical form, but is it going to be in the intro, perhaps a little footnote at the beginning of a film, just outlaying obviously the sad passing of him, and a little tribute? Or is it going to pop up in some form, perhaps in a video or in a photograph, a poster, maybe at the background, but it has to be prominent enough that we all spot it. Whatever way it is, Stephen, I'm just glad to see the great man has been obviously given another tribute after his sad passing. These wouldn't exist without him, and obviously Jack Kirby. John, so these guys, we've owe so much to them.
For every release now, we're going to get a lesser chance of Stan Lee cropping up on these films now. Sadly, whether
I'd like to see them continue it though.
They might use archive footage. I don't know, John. But listen, we'll just wrap up the show with this final little article. It's not much, but this comes in from Collider.com. It's in regards to limited edition Avengers Endgame Nebula and Ronin figures from Iron Studios available now. Now, I was looking at these photographs earlier. They're so detailed, it's unreal. I don't know where they're available from, John, if it's just the internet in general or if it's actually
I think you'll get them,
stores.
You'll probably find you'll get them from Planet Terror, is it?
It does say...
is that right? No, I'm talking crap. What's it called? The Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet.
Planet Terror's a Tarantino film.
But listen, just the sheer detail of these figures are absolutely amazing. It's got a close up of, I think it's Ronin, showing his sort of his legs, his boots. The detail that's in the boots, you can actually see the stitching in the trousers and stuff like that, as you can see from there. I don't know if you can see that, John.
I can. It's absolutely astonishing.
Amazing. Now, as I said, we don't really have a lot of comic book stores over here, so it's something probably...
Something we need to address. We need to get
listen, the internet is something that's certainly benefited guys like ourselves.
Yeah, well, Stephen, when I read my comics...
the resources over here, physical resources, that is.
Yeah, when I read comics, I do it on my iPad.
Yeah,
I just get them digitally, so... as you did say, we're very, very limited in terms of shops, so... but we need to address this, we need to get some set dressings. I know we've got the Fox Mulder thing, we need to get that in for perhaps a TV show we do at some point in the future. If we've got the time. We can employ somebody to produce the show. Then you get that. And then perhaps we've got the Star Wars stuff here. Get some comic book pop figures or whatever, Avengers things, and get it in here. DC as well. We don't want to go down that partisan line and upset some of the DC fans. We'll get everything in here. And we'll give some set dressing. But it's very, very cool. These are very, very cool figures. We've seen it before with Lucasfilm, Stephen, and Disney. We obviously know that they do 3D scans of all of the actors involved in their franchises, and that allows them to recreate them in incredible clarity with these figurines and stuff. So it's astonishing seeing the Nebula one. I actually watched her, Karen Gillan, putting the makeup on. It's incredible how they do it. All these prosthetics put on and then the colouring. It's astonishing how they put that together. So just to see that being replicated in such an incredible amount of detail on a minuscule scale, astonishing.
Absolutely beautiful.
I'll definitely buy them. But what did I digress, Stephen? I'm wrapping up a show. I forgot for a brief moment. That's going to be the end of this week's MBE and first MBE Hero show. Yeah. If you've enjoyed it, if you're enjoying the content in general on the channel, you know what to do. Comment below and let us know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and we'll be back tomorrow with Movie Burner News.